Hey, what's going on, everybody? You know who this is? Oh, shit. I forgot this isn't from my phone. My music doesn't just cut off. Oh, well. It's a good track. So I get out of the fucking driveway there. I'll mute it down, maybe. Oh, this does sound like a nice little intro. Bunch of drums. Wait for it. Smoke there, and then I'll stop. Holy fuck, it's early, man. Especially when I ain't fucking. When we went to bed at fucking 4 a.m. and I'm up at 8 fucking. Well, where'd you go? See this all the way back. What's going on, everybody? Whew. Alright. So I just had a little power nap. Light and shit. That's even worse. Anyways, I had a little power nap there. I watched over my video in the car and it's pretty incoherent. A lot of babbling, a lot of bullshit. But the overall theme I was trying to relate was that whether we are or aren't, I think we're a thought form. Because obviously we're flesh, we're skin, we're not a thought form like us, but as above, so below, and all is mental, all is in the mind of God. These two principles from the Kabbalion come into effect. If we are a vision of our Creator, if we were created in the likeness of our Creator, and if the Kabbalion is just like Bible and other texts that say that, the first part, the Kabbalion says we are in the mind of God. Which means we're a thought form. And our thought forms are our mind. And that makes us the God of our thought forms. So, the Christian God right now, it's flipped. It says we were created in the image of Him, yet He was created because of us. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to flip the script here because the God of the Bible isn't the God most should be worshipping. I'm not forcing that on anybody. I'm not telling everybody that's the truth or anything like that. But as far as I can tell, that's what it looks like to me. That's what everybody should know and be doing, is figuring out source and figuring out the best way to talk to their own subconscious mind. They should be meditating. They should be figuring out their own spirituality. You know, you don't have to look at witchcraft. You don't have to look at ceremonial magic like I did. Find your own path. But we all have the subconscious mind. Yesterday when I was talking about the collective unconscious, all our unconscious minds all our subconscious minds are linked to each other. Thus, when you perform magic, everybody who is going to affect your magic, everybody around you who you're going to be able to, like I've used the example before because recently enough someone found I think 30 grand at an ATM machine that the Brinks truck guy left there. Okay, so using that, I don't think she did a sigil to get that, but let's assume this woman did a sigil to get that. Well, I think there was 2 people before her that didn't see that money there. So what had to be happening in their mind? Maybe right before the first guy that was there before her, before he looked up, his wife called screaming at him for being gone too long. Maybe the girl there had kids in the car, so she was just going super fast and putting money in or taking money out, and she didn't look up. And the next person was chill, relaxed, and looked up and saw the 30 grand. What had to happen to the Brinks truck guy to leave that money there? Okay? All these things were affected by someone in the moment. That woman prayed to God, okay, and it got through her subconscious mind, and they gave her the 30 grand. Or maybe she was practicing magic and she did something for it. Who fucking knows? But that's the example I like to use because all our minds are linked through the subconscious. Thus, when you create a thought form, it goes to that collective unconscious that everybody's linked up. A lot of people like to call it the collective consciousness. To me, the collective consciousness is, I like to think of the collective consciousness as our language or vocabulary, all the different things like that, okay? The things that we use while we're conscious, while we're awake. Everybody who's awake, like not literally like awaken or awakening, but like just being conscious versus unconscious, like awake and asleep. Everybody who's awake speaking a language right now, that's all in the collective consciousness, because even the other languages maybe are in the collective consciousness all around kind of thing, but the collective unconscious. And really, it doesn't have to be collective, it's just literally they're all linked up. But that's where the egregores, the thought forms go, and they go and they affect people. Technically, that's where magic also affects people. Magic, period, law of attraction, affects people through the unconscious mind. So if I was the one that found the 30 grand, and I made a sigil to get 30 grand, well, before that, that person before me looked up to get that. With my subconscious was like, no. My subconscious sends their subconscious a message, or my thought form says, no. Someone calling you right now. You know what I mean? It affects that person's mind to call this person's mind. That's how it works. That's the path of least resistance. It pushes everything out of the way for you to get what you want. And a lot of people look at that like, well, that's not right. That's not right. Well, it may not be right. But as long as somebody's doing it, well, then who's to say, we can't go all on the honor system and just be like, yeah, we're not going to use magic. Let's just see where the fucking chips lie. Because someone's always going to go behind your back and do it. Okay? The way I see it is, there's no such thing as cheating if everybody's playing by the same rules. Okay? So if one person is playing with these rules, whether it's the government, the deep state, the Illuminati, whoever, which, once again, I don't really believe in Illuminati. I believe in elite groups possibly doing magic and shit like that. Like, we know Queen Elizabeth had an astrologer, so obviously we know these royals and other people use magic. Astrology is a type of divination, after all, and using the planets to know where they are and figure shit out. You know, most people think it's just for fucking seeing the future or whatever those people think astrology is, some science of the devil, yet it's like up in the sky, not in the ground. But anyways, but the point is, I don't know if we're thought form or not. But I call on, once again, all is mind, and as above, so below, as within, so without. So once again, as above, so below. The Creator is the all. It's everything, and everything right now is in all of us. He just said, fuck it, I'm bored, nothing to do, this sucks. Well, let's just shoot out my consciousness into everybody and see which parts of me figure it out and which parts don't. That's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is we have people programming us. We have programming. I mean, that's not a stretch. That's what people talk about more than anything. It's we're programmed. We're programmed. We're programmed. We're programmed. What do you do in an egregore? You program it. What do you do with a thought form in a servitor? You program it. What do you do with a cupola? You program it. What do you do with a Gregorian? You program it. How do you program something? Well, you make a little book, or maybe at least a couple pages. But the more information you put into your servitor everywhere, the better it's going to fucking do its job. It can do many tasks at once, which is the benefit. You know, normally you do a sigil for one fucking thing, but when you do a servitor, you have its primary function, and you can list. I don't go past 5, but you know, you can have a primary function, a secondary function. When I list 5 things, it's all has to do with the same main idea, you know what I mean? But still, nonetheless, I can do many things. So, from protect you and then get information to, you know, whatever you want. Those could be your 2 things, because those are pretty separate. One's protection and what's going out. That's projection and receiving. So, well, not really, but point is, use thought forms to your benefit, because someone already else is. Okay, start doing magic, whether you think it's good or not. Someone else is doing it, whether they know it or not. That girl at work talking bad about you behind your back, it's magic. You know, the thing she says, if you accept it, if you let her affect you, she comes up to you and gives you a nasty look the one day and gets you angry, pissed off, and now you're at her level. Emotionally, you guys are on the same vibration. Well, every fucking bad thought she's ever said about you is now able to affect you. And she's not even practicing magic, but that's fucking magic. That's how that bitch brings you down, and that's how that bitch gets to you. Don't let that bitch get to you. Stay up, stay above. And, you know, you really want to get her back, forgive her for everything she's ever fucking done, and release the fucking karma and say, you know what, it's not worth my fucking time. I'm not going to deal with that negativity anymore. I'm not going to talk bad about the bitch, even though she's talking bad about me. I'm not going to fucking pay her any fucking mind. That's going to be hard. But if you do that, you stop the circuit that's going to you. Bad thoughts go to you, bad thoughts back to her, so she keeps sending it back to you, back to her. You keep fucking her up, she keeps fucking you up. But if you stop it once it gets to you, fucking no. Then she's just going right back to her, going right back to her, going right back to her. She's fucking herself up. I'm done, you know? You don't even have to throw at her. That's okay because you didn't do anything. It's protection. Like, sorry, you blocked, and then she just hits himself in the face. Like shooting a big fucking something too heavy and she can't, you know, it hits her back in the face. Point is, yeah, and by asking for money, if other people have to leave the money lying there, well, fuck, who cares? Doesn't matter. Other people have done it before. You might have been the person that was supposed to find that money the one day, and then you got the call. You know that? Therefore, don't feel bad about it. Just fucking do it. Anyways, between these two videos, there should be enough to get at least a decent video out of. So I'll just put them both up. I hope you enjoyed. And a long time ago, I was going to release this monster of an episode about COVID-19 and how you don't have to worry about it and how strong our body is, how there's a field around us, how heart and earth are the same word, and it's because they both have a magnetic field around it, and nothing can get through that magnetic field unless you let it in. And I found all these PDFs and scientific papers and all this shit that proved it. Okay, I was going to release it all, and then I started having mad problems with my computer and my phones and all that, and truth be told, they've never been the same since. And I've since realized that I'm not going to give this thing any more thoughts, any more thought forms, and actually any more energy to this thought form that is the coronavirus. And this is one of the reasons I've been talking about thought forms, so that I can not so subtly but subtly explain how thought forms work, so people can start piecing it together that this thing is more dangerous as a thought form, as an idea, than an actual virus. And the stats prove that every day, because there's more people getting infected, but still a very small amount perishing, dying. And the people that are dying have weak immune systems. So that just proves it, that you can get this thing by not being able to control your thoughts. You're more susceptible if you can't control your thoughts, and you think this thing is fucking a thought form. But you're not necessarily going to die because, you know, your body's got your back. But if you let it in, it can affect you. So I'm not releasing that episode. I never am. If anybody wants any of that information, send me an email and I'll send you the PDFs, send you the files. I'll even send you my audio clips of how I said it, and you can fucking say it yourself. I don't really give a shit. Free of charge. I'm not going to charge anybody for anything, but, you know, it's up to you. But I'm not going to release it. It's out there. You can find it too. If you don't want to do the work, whatever. But anyway, so, yeah, have a good one.